We'll take our seat and feel where sit bones, where tailbone, where perineum connect us to our seat, our ground. Align crown, the top and center of your head, over this bottom and center of your pelvis. And as you align them, do so with the least amount of effort, the most amount of ease. Use these as guide points, landmarks, and start to move your breath in and through and between these points. So the sense is that of breath moving through the centralmost space of your body. And sensing that as an internal felt phenomena. Making sure it's not just slightly in front of you as a visual, but felt inside your skin, in the space of your body. We're going to work some pranayama today. Alternate nostril breathing. And we'll have a moving ratio. So let's choose the left hand for now. Close the left nostril softly. Inhale for a count of 5 through the right nostril. Close the right. We'll hold 10. Feel the crown, the perineal, tailbone, those 2 points, those 2 central landmarks. Now raise the thumb up. Exhale 10 count out the left nostril. With the left side open, inhale 5. Close. Hold 10. Feel as if your core absorbs breath. This breath. 10 count exhale out the right. That was 1 round or 2 breaths. Let's do another. The location of our sensing tells us a lot about where we are, where we locate our self, our feeling awareness. Maybe we make the presumption that we know where our physical body is, our skin and our limbs and our torso. Therefore, there's no need to check. But in fact, the location and the shape of our feeling awareness tells us about where we are. It tells us about what we are, right? So part 2, if you need to switch the cross of your legs, go right ahead. And we'll go in 10, hold 10, out 10. 10, 10, 10. Alternate nostril breathing. What we just did was 2 rounds or 4 breaths. We'll do another 10, 10, 10. In 10, hold 10, out 10. As you're holding hand to face, relax the shoulder, allow the elbow to melt down. Feel as core absorbs breath. Feel the breath, body interaction occurring in a deep and central place. The locale of this sensing puts us deeply, internally, and centrally in our body. The way that we sense our body with repetition over time can start to have an effect of how we inhabit our body. It has the potential and the power to alter how we inhabit our body energetically and viscerally. Our aim is to remember the whole of our being. Our whole depth, our whole body, the wholeness of all of our faculties and skills, the wholeness of all the ways that we've developed, not just the bleeding edge, not just the lagging edges, the whole of our development. The analogy I like to use sometimes is that of a distribution chart, a distribution arrangement. As we continue to distribute our feeling, our sensing, our listening, to listen with our pelvis, to sense with our core, it starts to alter the way that we show up in our body. The results can be gradual, they can be sudden. So we'll keep our seated position. We're going to work a twist from our sit bones. So leaving the left leg on the ground, we'll use the right leg. We'll often do this as a standing twist, a standing alternate twist. We're going to start it on the ground. Okay? So my sit bones, my left leg remains on the ground, left hand to the outer edge of the right foot. Left hand to right foot. This means we'll turn or twist to our right. Right hand down. Now inhale. Just draw the right foot off the ground. Lift the chest. Use that right hand on the ground to press. And now exhale. Add as much press to that right leg as you need to start to suspend your trunk up. I'm using the leg, not just, oh, I gotta stretch the leg. I'm actually using the leg to tension and prop and raise my trunk upright. Use that inner right leg to help you move into the twist. My right leg's wiggly. I can't twist very much. So my trunk is twisting. My inner right leg is offering that sort of counter rotation, counter sink. Maybe you can feel how the inner leg and the twist cooperate in this movement. Now, coming back to that deep, deep sense of core. Sometimes we start to twist, and maybe we actually have tightened our insides. How do we again soften so that our energy, our felt sense of body can open up? Pelvis, through the abdomen, through the chest, through the core, to the limbs of our being. And release. We'll switch sides. Set the right leg down on the ground. Our right hand will grab our outer left foot. Place the left hand down. Inhaling, using that left foot as a tensioning agent. Press, moving the right shoulder down away from the neck. Exhale, turning into the twist. Inner left leg. Bending that left knee, set the heel down, release, lie on back. And with the feet up off the ground, hands supporting the back of the brain. Lift elbows to the sky, wrapping shoulders. And inhale, float the head and shoulder blades up. And curl tailbone. As you exhale the left leg out, turn the elbows and so the chest toward the right thigh. Pull the low belly downward, which is inward, lifting upward, upward toward the head. Inhale, bend left knee. Curling tailbone. Exhale as you reach the right leg out, turn and face the sternum and the elbows toward the left thigh. The very beginning parts of twist. Pull low belly down. Inhale, come back to center. Let's do about 4, maybe 5 more on each side. Please continue. There's another little bitty twist in here, and it's playing with that inner leg line. The twist through the trunk. It's playing off of, in cooperation with the inner leg that reaches out. Can you feel that interplay through your body, the inner leg of the straightened limb, kind of anchoring and enabling the turning and the twisting of the trunk? Maybe you experience it differently. Maybe you experience a spiraling of the inner leg and a counter spiraling of the trunk. Whatever it is you sense, notice where you are in your body. Where does that locate us in terms of feeling, awareness? Notice that anywhere we choose to feel, there's a location, there's a depth, there's a span. And the way that feeling awareness shifts, hovers, interacts throughout our body, that also has qualities. Right. So perhaps we're near at rest with that, which is perfect. If you've got a roll or a block beside you, let's use that. We're going to do some abs with a roll. In fact, twisting abs with a roll. You'll place the object between the legs. And raise the legs, vertical. They straighten, that's fine. Interlace the hands at the back of the brain. Spreading open through and between the bones of the feet. Inhale into the low belly and the low back. As you near the top of the inhalation, squeeze with the legs, curl tailbone. And exhale, lift the elbows to the sky, wrapping the shoulders. The shoulder blades lift up. Pull low belly in, into the depth of your body, down. There's a little upward motion from pelvis to head. All right, inhale, let the head down. Just use these first couple to get us going. Squeeze the object. And with the inner leg squeezing the object, let that connect you to your tailbone. Curling the tailbone. Exhale, the head and the shoulder blades lift. Pull low belly in and down. All right, inhale, let the head down. And exhale here. Part 2. Inhale, the head and the shoulder blades up off the ground. Squeeze the roll, curl tailbone. Exhale, elbows reach toward the right. So the legs on that prop, torso slight turning to the right, pull low belly in and down. Now we keep shoulder blades up as we inhale. Come back to center. Squeeze the roll. Exhale, curling tailbone. Elbows reach left. The whole turning, spiraling of the trunk. Pull low belly in and down. All right, inhale, come back to center. And part 3, here we go. Keep the shoulder blades up, it's possible. Squeeze the roll, curling tailbone. Exhale, reach the elbows toward the right thigh. The trunk turns slightly. Increase the squeeze, legs on roll. And curl tailbone a second time. Just keep remembering, keep finding the pelvis, the legs. Pull low belly down. Inhale, coming back to center. Keep the shoulder blades lifted off the ground. Squeeze the object. Exhale, curling tailbone. Reach elbows left. The inner legs helping to counter the turning of the torso. Increase the squeeze. Curl tailbone a second time. Pull low belly in and down. Inhale, come back to center. Set the head down. Exhaling, we'll set the feet down. Okay. Then turn to a side. And we'll have a seat in straddle. I like the straddle where I can have my toes, my feet, pointed upward. And here in seated straddle, we'll play with some rounds of Uddiyana. So I think that when we're using this hinge or this fold in accord with the Uddiyana, we just make sure it's not about curling down. May tend to dull what we're actually sensing in our gut and in our pelvis. So inhale into the low belly and the low back. Just keeping my hands maybe just a few inches in front of the thighs, not too much. And now exhale, swift, thorough, everything out the mouth, everything out. And now the hands pull. You feel how you start to rock over those sit bones a tiny bit. Pull the low belly in and back and up. You're drawing from the perineum. You're drawing from the pelvic floor and lifting and sensing through the pelvis, maybe even through the guts. Reaching out through those inner legs, spreading the foot bones. Soften the belly when you need to breathe. These aren't being performed like an emergency. These are a very patient way of feeling this depth of our bodily space, especially in the pelvis and the guts. You're just taking a breath moment so you can feel, so you can sense. Whether we're doing a technique or whether we're simply sensing, the net of all of that puts us in our body, locates us somewhere. Each of those has benefit. It doesn't matter if I'm tugging on something or if I'm simply resting and choosing to feel somewhere. Feeling awareness. Inhale into the belly, the pelvic floor. Feet active, we'll keep them so. Bring the hands in front of the thighs. Swift, thorough exhalation. Move the shoulders down away from the neck, since we tend to cluster them up when we get nervous, feel anxiety. Just move the shoulders down as you pull the belly in and back and up. Into the center of your body and bodily space. Back toward the spine. The core is a little nearer to our spine than our navel. And up, lifting from pelvis toward the head, from ground to sky. And following that path through the space of your body. Patiently. It's okay to exist without having to wolf breath in. Okay? And simply soften the belly when you need to. Breathe and reset. And now here's the level 2 for us, right? We stopped the technique. We don't have to leave our abdomen and our pelvis. Continue to locate yourself in that area of your body by continuing to feel that area. The technique is just a set of jumper cables. It just helps us get in the ballpark. It does help on some physical levels too, right? Okay, let's do one more. The technique does work physically. We acknowledge that physical isn't the only thing real. Here we go. As you're inhaling, sense how breath moves through the pelvis, the abdomen. And pause for a moment. Does that area of your core absorb breath? Does it interact with breath? Does it recognize breath? Bring the hands in front of the thighs. Swift, thorough exhalation. Stay empty. Move the shoulders off of and away from your neck. Keeping the feet active. Notice what happens as you feel your feet pulling and drawing from the perineum, from the genitals, from the anus, and lifting and moving and sensing through the center of the pelvis, through the center of the lower abdomen, through the center of the upper abdomen. And then release releasing from that center and feeling the skin and the muscle and the tissue of the abdomen soften. And connecting breath through that very same area. The technique does not make the awareness. The awareness was here for us before we ever had a technique. Help the legs together. We'll move on to elbows and knees. We'll set up dolphin. Continue breathing in and through that low belly. It's easy as we switch our position to kind of have our mind jump into its habitual doing. It's keeping that breath threaded through the space of our body. Here too, we move the shoulders down off of the neck, away from the neck. When you're ready to move, exhale, the knees off the ground, dolphin. Enliven the legs, the muscles of the legs, the structures of the legs. So the backs of your thighs move into that space, the back of your mat. Deepening breath. So part of us sensing our breath is this continual locating ourselves, not in our imaginings, not in our rehearsals, not in our thoughts, not even in our wonderful, marvelous beliefs about what's possible or what's good, but putting us squarely in our person to some degree of depth, to some degree of span, to some degree of constancy, or perhaps an interruption. And letting ourselves kind of sink in, like saturate, like we're saturating ourself with ourself. We'll give ourselves three final deep, saturating, interactive breaths. Feel how breath interacts with the bones. Feel how breath interacts in the space of your person. Feel how deeply or expansively you can feel breath. Use every cell to listen. Use the cells of the bones in your pelvis to feel your breath. Use the cells of the glial in your brain to help you feel and recognize breath. And then softly set the knees down. Inhale, hands under shoulders. Exhaling, downward dog. Turning the bicep to face forward, which is a move that, I hope, will distribute the weight through your hand, so you're playing through the inner hand as well as the outer hand. And it's a move that helps you feel the shoulder blades and the arm limbs, kind of offering the neck more space. Now let's deepen breath. It's a simple choice, but it's often shrouded in our habit of like, oh, I gotta breathe, or oh, I'm short of breath, or Just choose to deepen breath and instantly note how much more deeply or expansively your sensing just became. Inhale, step the left foot forward. Warrior two. Reaching arms out to side. We're setting up for reverse warrior. Now, I don't mind if you have to pitch this left foot in a little bit. That out is pretty, that's a good and extreme move. But if you pitch that foot in, if you need to, let that afford us a deeper stance. Beef. Or as I call it, fun. Reverse warrior, right hand to right thigh. Inhale, draw the left arm up. And with the arm come the ribs and the trunk and the weight of the torso. Exhale, lean, reaching over that back leg, that right leg. Inhale, bring that left arm up, and with it, the torso. Interlacing hands behind back. Exhale, reach the knuckles softly downward, moving the shoulders down away from the neck. Now, if you need to further adjust the feet this way, that way, in, apart, go right ahead. We're moving into ostrich. So, as you sense that next exhalation, we'll pitch the torso inside the left leg or between the legs. Where you experience your breath in your body, that's where we are. And perhaps deepening breath, modulating breath, maybe that enables us deeper view, more span to more depth. Remember, we're here for wholeness. We want to touch it all, include it all, know it all. It's here. It's a wonderful pursuit. Okay. Now inhale, we'll bring the hands down to the pelvis, release them. Set the hands down, set the right knee down. We're working half of like a scissor. So we can do this two ways. Let me turn toward you. The first way is as we tuck the left arm under thigh, we can work this as a head to ankle. Simply head to ankle, option one. Option two is we have a pretty decent tuck. We don't mind having a little bit of weight on our hands. So maybe we walk this left leg forward and start to push the hamstring down, reach the inner leg out. Now please notice I'm leaving my right knee down for this. So option one is head to ankle. Actually, I'm going to take that one. And option two is half of a scissor, just the left leg moving forward. And release. Inhale. Let's walk the hands back under our shoulders. Exhale, the left foot back, chaturanga, and we'll lower down. Cobra, set the hands forward. Reach reach the legs back. Inhale. Pull with the hands, the chest forward as you reach with the legs back. Exhale, lower down, hands under chest, downward dog. The continuity or the discontinuity of sensing our breath can tell us a lot about the continuity, the constancy of our inhabitation, the way we inhabit our body. We keep listening to the breath. It's one way. It's a great way. We use it in yoga. So warrior two. Inhale the right foot forward, extending and reaching the arms out. Let the span of your arms help you feel the span of your breath. That's a pretty big span, right? Can we feel a sense of span, outreach, without leaving our core? Okay, reverse warrior. We'll set the left hand on the left thigh. Inhale, raise the right arm up. And with the arm, the ribs lift, the trunk, and its weight lift away from the pelvis, exhaling into that arch, into that reverse warrior. Our trunk is expanding out over that left leg, our back leg, reverse warrior. So use the reach of the arm to almost coax the weight of the intestines, the organs, away from the pelvis. Now breathing into those lower organs and that lower wondrous space of the body, the low back and the sacrum and the hip sockets and the genitals here. And do you notice how breath can sometimes occur to us as having different qualities in different places in the body? Breath in the chest might have different qualities than the way we experience breath with our pelvis. Isn't that kind of neat? Okay, inhale, we'll bring that right arm up and over as we prepare for ostrich by interlacing the hands behind back. And first, exhale, and softly reach the knuckles down. And as we reach the knuckles down, the tailbone down, letting breath spread the chest from the tailbone from the chest. And ostrich, exhale, folding torso between the inner legs. And inhale, bring hands down to sacrum. Bring them down to ground. Bring the left knee down. Here's our option point. Head to ankle or half scissor. So if we choose head to ankle, I get both my hands started on the inside of my right leg. Tuck the right arm under the thigh. Option 2, you have to walk that right leg forward somewhat. Walk, 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 walk. And keeping that leg kind of mounted on the tricep, I push the hamstring down onto a very stable arm limb. As I push the thigh down, reach the inner leg over the front of the mat. Making sure the shoulder is super ready for that leg pressure. And wherever you are, scissors, head to ankle, feel the shape of your breath. In some ways, we're getting a readout on the distribution, the depth, and the span of our feeling awareness as it's occurring in this body, in this moment. Every little distribution alteration we make in our practice starts to have the weight or the effect of altering how we feel and how we show up on the regular. So we're going to set that right foot down. Inhale, bring the hands under shoulders. Exhaling, chaturanga. We'll step back. And we'll lower down. Inhale, cobra. As the legs reach back, hands pull, lengthening the chest and the guts forward. Exhale, downward dog. All right, step to rest or standing, and let's show ourselves the kind of a final fun spot for the day. So I've set up a couple blocks against the wall. I thought we might just hover into Tittibhasana. So a couple of ways we can work Tittibhasana. From block sitting, boop, arms tuck, inner thigh. Just this move, pushing the triceps into the legs, can be a wonderful, just stable and sweet on the shoulders. So if you're not taking weight into your shoulder or wrists, press the arms back and grow the trunk away from the blocks that you're sitting on. So you'll get a wonderful practice in feeling the trunk space. Palms to ground. Another step is working the legs individually. Hamstring press down. Inner leg reach out. And I'm just monitoring very carefully in shoulder. If you feel the shoulder drift or fold, just pause, reset. We don't want the weight of the leg to just collapse our shoulder. Then you could work it with the other side. And of course, both. All right, have fun. Let's see what we get. I'm going to watch you. I'm going to watch you fly. So for some of us, this is a wide leg, kind of a split fold move. Perfect. For some of us, it's kind of a careful, application of weight and steadying and stabilizing the shoulder. Perfect. For some of us, we just want to fly. Wherever you end up with the pose is just another route for us to feel our breath, which is a route of feeling and sensing and listening with our body. Whole body, from hands to shoulders to trunk to legs to feet, the whole body inhabited. Feel it with your breath. Feel it with all the sensations. Give it a few more breath moments. Just you're doing a second try. If I had to name one aspect of practice for us as a practicing group. It would be the enduring nature of, breathing for many breath moments in these poses, these kinds of poses. Try to resist the urge to flinch in and flinch out, like, got it, out. Stay. Get steady. This is about getting steadily inhabiting our body. Living from this place of deep cellular wisdom, right? Now, when you're bringing your feet down and you're deciding to end the Tittibhasana fun, we'll move to mat. And lie back. And when you lie back, adjust the shoulder blade in the back of your body. So you kind of glide the blade down and set the arm out. Glide the blade down. Now, when we glide our own blades down, sometimes we rumpled up our ribs. So you might just have to kind of lift one side of your hip to lengthen that side of your back. You gotta lift one side of your hip to lengthen that other side of your ribs. And allow yourself these moments, these very important Shavasana moments. Why are they so important? This is my opinion, my experience. The feeling awareness that we're practicing, recognizing, exists whether there's a yoga pose or not, whether there's something to task about or not. So in bodily stillness, can we still recognize that depth and that span of our breath, our feeling, listening awareness? You feel the shape of that vibrant listening stillness. So we're not only going into the structure of our body, the bones, the ligaments, but we're going beyond that. There's a vibrancy and aliveness and a stillness that is beyond the structure of our body. Let's remember, we want to remember the wholeness of even our developed self. Can I embrace the today person as well as the respiring, still forming cellular form before I had lungs? Can I honor the awareness that was here before me, as me? The listening, this depth of stillness that was me before I knew how to think logically. There's some facet of us that still existed before we could ever write our name. There's something with continuity that's been with us this whole time. And we can find it in this depth of stillness, beyond the structure, in the structure, with the technique, without the technique. And when we find it in us, we'll recognize it in others. When you're ready, bend knees. Turn to a side. Use both hands and press. Namaste.